Convinced he was witnessing something scandalous. He burst into the bathroom, only to find Jez and Pip, fully clothed, struggling with a ridiculously long shower curtain. "What in the blazes are you two doing?" Reggie demanded, his face a mask of outrage. Pip, ever innocent, looked up, putting up a shower curtain. "Reggie, what did you think we were doing?" Reggie stammered, his earlier accusations suddenly sounding ludicrous. "Well, it sounded like you were. I heard rub-a-dub-dub." He trailed off, mortified. I apologize. I'm so ashamed." Jaz, still trying to untangle the curtain, smirked. "Reggie, what did you even come up here for, anyway?" Reggie clutched his head. "I can't remember. You people are driving me crazy." He shuffled out, muttering about never seeing anyone so ashamed of doing nothing. Just as the door closed, a yelp echoed from the bathroom. "Oh, I slipped in the tub and I banged my head." B rushed in to find Pip sitting on the edge of the tub, a rapidly swelling goose egg forming on her forehead. "Pip, I told you never to wear your hiking boots in the bathtub." Jez, ever the pragmatist, assessed the situation. "We need to get her to a hospital." "B, call a cab. I'll get her dressed." No, I'll get her dressed. You call the cab." B retorted, pushing him away, well aware of Jaz's reputation for accidental romantic entanglements. At Coral Cove Medical Center, the waiting room felt sterile and tense. Pip, meanwhile, was in a room undergoing tests. "Why did they have to take so much blood?" she whimpered to Jaz and B. "It's my head that got hit, not my blood." B, her usual composure frayed, paced anxiously. "The doctor said it could be an inner ear disturbance, which would be good news. But it could also be a cranial hemorrhage." Jaz tried to lighten the mood. "How about some nice warm chamomile tea? That always helps me sleep." "No, Jaz, nothing's going to make me shut my eyes tonight," B snapped, then immediately softened. "I know you're trying to help, but I'm scared. Pip isn't just my roommate. She's my kid sister, my biggest aggravation. And the sweetest, most bubble-headed best friend anyone could ask for." Jaz put a comforting arm around her. "Pip's going to be fine. Someone always looks out for people like Pip." V managed a watery smile. "You know, I'd give anything to hear one of her dumb stories right now." "Me too," Jaz agreed. "Remember when the new push-button phone arrived, and the technician asked her if she wanted an extension? She said, 'No, thank you. We'll pay for it now.'" V chuckled, tears still welling. "And then he asked if she wanted a 20-foot or a 10-foot cord, and she said, 'Oh, a 2-foot cord will be fine. It only has to reach up to my ear.'" Their shared laughter was cut short by a knock. It was Reggie, looking unusually subdued. "I finally remembered why I came up here earlier. But it's really nothing. After seeing what I saw, you getting mad at me?" V, her voice heavy with weariness, interrupted him. "Reggie, what you saw was Jaz trying to help Pip. She's in the hospital. She fell and hit her head, and there are complications, maybe even worse." Reggie's jaw dropped. Pip in the hospital. His bravado melted away, replaced by genuine concern. "Oh, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do?" The next morning, the doctor, a kindly man with a weary smile, delivered the news. The tests came back negative. The X-rays showed nothing. "Pip, you're perfectly normal." Pip, beaming, accepted a second breakfast from a nurse. "I could have told you that, and I wouldn't have charged you anything." She choked. "You must be a great doctor, because I never was before." Later, as Bee and Jazz arrived, their faces etched with worrying, Pip greeted them with a cheerful, "Oh, hi. I'm so happy to see you both." "Did you talk to the doctor?" Bee asked, her voice trembling. "Yes, and Pip replied, oblivious to their distress. The not knowing was the worst part of it. Jazz and Bee exchanged a horrified glance. They thought Pip was, going. When did he say you'd be going?" Jazz finally managed to ask. "Around noon," Pip said brightly. "So fast." "I wish this were in a hospital where I could shoot off some firecrackers, really go out with a bang." Just then, Reggie arrived, bearing a bouquet of wilting dahlias. "Best wishes, Pip," he mumbled, clearly still under the impression she was on her last legs. "Make sure these go with her." Bee's patience snapped. "Reggie, please stop talking about things like that. The important thing is, we want to spend every moment we can with her." "Well, fine, but when it's all over here, you can take her home, prop her up on a sofa with some pillows, and stare at her all day," Reggie retorted, completely misreading the room. Bee lunged, but Jazz held her back. "In a minute, I'm gonna choke this man." The doctor, overhearing the commotion, stepped in. "This girl is the funniest patient I've ever had. She had me laughing so hard, I was crying. She's all right." Jazz and Bee stared, dumbfounded. "All right," Bee whispered. "All my patients were like her, I'd be out of business." The doctor laughed. "Have a nice trip home." As the doctor departed, Jazz and Bee collapsed onto Pip's bed, relief washing over them. "Oh, Pip, you're well," Bee cried, hugging her. We thought we'd lost you." Pip, still confused, looked between them. "Lost me? Where? When?" "Janet thought it was forever," Jazz interjected, throwing an arm around Bee. "You should have seen her last night. Bananas, she acted like it was the end." Bee, overwhelmed, promptly fainted. Jazz, ever the quick thinker, scooped her up. "Wait, let me put her in your bed, Pip." Just then, Reggie reappeared. "I finally remembered what I've been coming up here to tell you. The rent is 10 days overdue." He paused, seeing Bee unconscious. "Oh, after what you kids have been through, you can just forget about it." He beamed, feeling magnanimous. "Until tomorrow." Chapter 2, Pippa's Potions and the Poker Predicament. A week later, life at the Sunflower Suites had returned to its usual rhythm, albeit with a lingering scent of disinfectant. Jazz was meticulously counting cards again, this time for a poker game at Jet Chetwin's apartment downstairs. Jazz's best friend and a self-proclaimed connoisseur of the